Bada bing bada.
Hey. What are our updates this week?
I am not regretting cutting that hunk out of my hair. And it's funny because I really thought I was going to,
Yeah.
and I don't regret it one bit. The amount of anxiety it has taken off of my plate. I'm about to just cut the whole thing short. Now I got it straightened today. Maybe I just kind of just cut across.
Just do it.
I don't know. I am a little more scared about that. But I will say if you have a dreadlock, just cut it out. Stop stressing over it and just cut it out. Just be done with
You
it.
don't need that kind of negativity.
You don't. I mean, it was literally weighing me down, my in
Mhm.
body and soul, and it just needed to go.
And
And I
yeah, body, mind, and soul.
yes, and
Let's
I
let's
just
be honest.
honestly every time I get in the shower now, I think I am so grateful that I did that. I really do think that
Every single day. Every single day. That's
every day that I shower.
the distinction was made. Okay, what else we got?
And my butt is still sore from the RAV4. Like, is there a class action lawsuit out there? I'm just kidding. I wouldn't. But my
I
butt
I
is
would.
so sore. It's getting better. So there
That was
has been
2 weeks ago.
progress. Like, so this was beginning of February that we went. It's been a month and a half, and I'm still suffering from having that RAV4 for 24 hours.
Somebody out there at Toyota can tell us what's going on with the seats in your fucking RAV4s.
Like, I
Distraught.
know that I'm kind of spoiled because I literally bought my car with because it was so cozy, like in the seats.
Fair.
But this is going too far. I mean, yeah, something needs to be done about this. I don't know if it's just like maybe I have a weirdly shaped butt. I don't know.
Gonna have to get you a butt pad for from
Do you
this
mind if
point
I
on.
pause this for a second and run out and check my registration? Because I checked my registration and I am still good for another year. So
I'm so glad you looked at that.
we're doing we're doing
We're
good there.
we're doing better than we expected.
I'm actually very proud of myself. Thank you to the pod for making me
Remember
check
to
that.
check my
Yeah, because
registration.
I'm only 2 weeks past when it would have been due. So that's pretty.
That's fine in Florida.
Your
Actually, they're
face when
like,
I said that.
I gotta remember
Yeah,
to turn off my facial expressions sometimes. I just can't.
you were like,
Just savage. I love it. I love it. Mm.
all right. So that's it for updates.
Okay, cool.
How's it going?
I mean, it was a good week. My boys were on spring break, which I thoroughly enjoyed because I didn't have to get up and be out of the house. So on days where I got up early, I just got to like kick it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I just wish they were always home, honestly. So yeah, that was nice. And um, my husband hung my hammock at the beginning of the week.
Sounds amazing. I You FaceTimed me too when you were in it, and I
It's
was
good.
very jealous.
It's good. It is a little too the hooks where the swings were taken down, they're a little too close together. The first time I laid in it, Sean was like, "You look like a pretzel." You just it's very much like, like, so you have to get kind of situated in it,
Can't
just
you just
right.
spread the hooks out?
The hooks are attached to the swing set, like
Oh, it's the swing
they
hooks.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're as far apart as they go. They're on the very edge of each
Yeah.
side, so there's really nowhere else for them to go. That's always been our issue. We have two hammocks, but in our backyard, there's only one column on the back porch, so we never could hang
Mm.
our hammocks there because at
Mm-hmm.
our old apartment before that we had there was a balcony above us, so we had a bunch of places where we could hang our hammocks. We weren't supposed to. They always yelled at us to take them down, but then we'd
Right.
wait a few weeks and we'd put them back up
Of
until they
course.
noticed and yelled at
Mm.
us, whatever. It was a cycle. um yeah, highly recommend a hammock in the evening. with a book. I did that every night this week. I laid in my hammock and read my book.
Ah, that sounds
So
awesome.
yeah.
Heck yeah. Good week then.
Mm-hmm. Really good.
My week was also really good. Brian had the week off to watch the baby. I was going to go out of town with them, but we decided it was just easier with the baby to stay back last
Yeah.
minute. So I ended up staying back, and it was just so nice, like getting all that time with the
Yeah.
baby. I'm just so grateful for it. I feel like I'm coming back from maternity leave now, going into the next week again, which was like hard enough the first time, and now I feel
Doing it
like
all
it's
over
happening
again.
again. But it's okay. I'm just so grateful that I got that time with him. So it was a really good week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was surprisingly like more frazzled because I had the week off, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have so much like leisure time and get so much done.
Yeah.
And that's not really how it worked out. I did get a lot of things done,
Yeah.
but I didn't really have that as much leisure time as I expected. But it was okay. It felt nice and productive. So
I just glanced down at your name.
can you even
Today,
read the whole thing? Oh, you
yes.
can, yeah.
Today, Tori is blumberous and baffled baboon. That's incredible.
I it's just like random words I think that come to me as I'm signing
Yeah,
in.
you can't plan that out. It
I
has to
see
be in the moment.
you got a little adventurous today.
I did. I did. I'm Big Mama today.
I love it.
It felt right. I
It
don't know
does
why.
feel right.
I
Yeah.
think because I
I
went to get the donuts.
okay, yeah.
I am going to scratch my eyeballs out of my face. I promise. The pollen is
Oh
atrocious.
no. It is
And
bad.
while the weather was absolutely gorgeous this week,
Mhm.
I don't know if you've seen me about 800 times now. I've scratched my eye. So
Ouch.
I would just like to not have eyes now, I think. Just take them. I don't need them. They don't work very well anyway without these things on my face. So
Right. So if I mean, yeah. Sorry. I was going to say something about like I swear I'm not drunk.
I snuck a little bit of bourbon into your
Are
coffee.
you drunk?
No.
Oh, into into my coffee. I was like, Amber's coming in hot this morning.
No, I slept well. Like
Ugh, that's the best part about not drinking.
it I did drink a little
Oh,
last night.
that's
Not
a
much.
win-win.
Not much, but I think just enough. I don't like to drink and read at the same time. I don't know if that's weird. Um
Interesting.
it
Those two things I never thought of
I can't believe I
being
said it out
mutually
loud.
exclusive.
I can't believe I said it out loud. It's one of those things where I always wondered if anybody else, if that's just like part of the human experience that everybody experiences but doesn't talk about. It's good to know that's not the case.
Well, not for me, but I also don't read, so I just like
Okay.
I'm excluded from that.
It's like my eyes just don't want to focus when I'm drinking.
I could see that.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that makes any sense. It sounds
Yeah,
so
you get like
ridiculous.
more tired and you have to use your muscles to focus your eyes. I think that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So it's just not like if I am reading, then I'm probably only having like a glass of wine anyway. So, um,
Oh, so you do like to drink just minimally.
yeah, just
Okay.
like, yeah, I can't be like 3 glasses of wine in and reading a book.
Oh, who could?
I don't
Can
know.
do
But
people do that?
I don't know. I don't know
Let
what
us
people
know.
be
Email
doing.
us.
Do you guys get shit faced and read? I don't know.
Yeah, I
Just
don't think I could focus. For me, one glass of wine and a book sounds very lovely. Not that I ever get to it. It's funny actually this last week because I thought I was going to have more leisure time. I did
you're
think
like, I'm gonna read.
I'm going to read. Yeah, I told
Yeah.
myself like 3 or 4 times, just grab a book, just read. I never did. I did not do that.
I feel like you just have to get into the routine of it, honestly.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's easy to do with a baby, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
think
it's just not at the top of my priorities, I feel like right now. But yeah, once you get in the routine of it, it's nice.
yeah. And there's not enough television with um, fantasy things that I haven't already
Yes.
seen.
I
And that's what I
agree.
liked. If I'm going to sit down and watch a movie or TV, I want to watch The Witcher or Lord of the Rings. Um,
Boo.
Boo.
Unpopular opinion.
You don't like those either of those?
Well, The Witcher was kind of hard for me to get into, so I stopped. But I heard that that's kind of normal, but if you stick with it, like it is really good.
Yeah, it took me a
Lord
second.
of the Rings, though, I don't need to watch these people walk anymore.
Oh my god,
Like,
no.
I can't even distinguish the movies apart. They're just always walking. It's one long tail of a
No.
walk.
It's
And I need to be
it's an
careful. I hope my dog
adventure.
can't hear me.
She's like, it's time to go.
She's like scratching at the door. Did you say?
You said we were going. Yeah, no, I feel the complete opposite. I love that shit. That's all I want to put in my brain.
Mhm.
I want to be an elf
I
or
do want that.
a fairy or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't really care.
Mhm,
Any
mhm,
of them. It's fine.
mhm,
Hmm.
mhm,
Hmm.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Beverly Hills. So
How's that going?
it's going okay. I kind of accidentally like missed um like half a season through sleep, and I woke up
You're
and
like, I'm not going back.
well, the reunion was on when I woke up, and I was like, well, if anything important happened, they would say it here.
Surely.
And
Yeah.
I literally missed nothing pretty much in the last half of the
Okay.
season. There's like one thing. So now I'm into season 10. Um, and I think it's only season 12 or 13 that's out now. So I'm getting very close. Lisa
Nice.
Vanderpump is no longer on Beverly Hills Housewives.
Oh,
That's probably not news to other people. I don't know, but
it's
I'm
news to me.
just okay. I'm just learning it. She's not on there anymore because she got in a fight with pretty much all of the housewives, and she's like on the outs and like doesn't want anything to do with them.
Nice.
Um, yeah, they were like accusing her of putting this story out, and she's saying she didn't do it. And then like even the editor of that magazine is saying that she didn't do it. But that kind of almost proves that they do have a relationship, because why would the editor of a tabloid like
Mm,
come out and say they didn't do
fair.
it? At least that's what people are saying. I don't know. So Lisa's off of it, which kind of like took the wind out of my sails. I love Lisa. I do love some of the other housewives as well, though. I like Erica a lot. Just like she's like the Lala of Beverly Hills
Oh,
Housewives, especially with the outfits.
okay. I'm
Like
gonna look her up.
she will wear the craziest outfits, and she always looks so good too.
Gotcha. She looks
As
bitchy.
Erica Jane. Yeah, she's. You could say that. Yeah. She's like I like her though because she's very straightforward. Like she, for the most part, says it how it is, and she stays out of the drama as best
Nice.
she can. Yeah. Anyway, so not much going on there. Love is Blind. So I told you last week we're done with it, but I forgot they had a reunion. Of
Incredible.
course. Yeah, those are always great. So Jerry Jerry is not on the show. There is no one named Jerry on this
I
show.
was like, I think that's the first time I have heard that name. So, is that a new character that they introduced at the reunion?
Yes. Sarah Ann and Jeremy. So they're the ones who sailed off into the sunset on the jet skis when like he
Oh, yeah.
left Laura
Yeah.
like overnight and like went and just like talked with Sarah Ann at her house at like 3 a.m. Um so anyway, so they're still together. Laura told Jeremy at the reunion that he was a clown, and I'm sure that felt very good for her. And I'm happy for her that
That's awesome.
she got that out. And clown is just, I mean, it's very popular these days as an insult, but we love it. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's such a good dig, and it's almost like I'm not even too worried about you. Like you're just a goofy ass. Like
I'm not too worried about you. That's the perfect description.
so I love that. Jeremy
What's happening? Are you having a seizure? Like, I'm calling Brian. What is going
I
on?
might have to sober up off coffee. Okay, Sarah Ann and Jeremy did eventually.
Jeremy is a great ship name. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Sarah Ann and Jeremy did eventually apologize to Laura. So that is good. It seemed like there's some closure there. And Laura did say, that's all I've been wanting is like you guys to just like kind of take accountability for like having wasted my time, my family's time, and
Yeah.
everything. Trevor was actually, we posted like from our last episode, one of the clips that we posted, I was talking about Chelsea is the Megan Fox girl.
Yes.
And I don't, it sounds bad to say she's the Megan Fox girl. I just know you haven't seen it. So, like, that's the story that you'll remember.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because I can picture exactly who she is as soon as you say that.
Right. So, the Megan Fox girl, she ended up with Jimmy. Jimmy left her, blah, blah, blah. So Trevor was the guy, the other guy she was talking to in the pods who, like, he was going to propose to her second, and she ended up going with Jimmy because Jimmy proposed first. So Trevor, we found out, it was funny because in that clip and on the podcast, I'm like, oh, Trevor's so sweet. He stopped talking to everyone except for Chelsea. Trevor had another girl on the outside the whole time, and that girl posted screenshots of their text messages when he was saying, like, I love you so much, like, I'm just doing this for the show. And like he said that they weren't actually like in a relationship at the time, and he was just like saying that to her, like kind of like love bombing her, but he actually didn't really mean it. But either way, like, that's messed up, Trevor.
Brother.
There's no good route out of this.
No, you're not gonna backpedal now. You can't.
Right. Well, the backpedaling you're doing is making you look just as bad as what is going on. Maybe he's just being honest, and just wants to be, I don't know. Anyway, so they like confronted him about that, and he like, it was like his brain melted on stage. Like I feel like he had like a bit of a panic attack and like literally just could not respond. Like he was on stage just like just like doing that for like a good minute, and they like asked him the question again, and he kind of did it again, and then he like composed himself and was able to respond. But that was interesting. That was I felt almost bad for him in that moment because it was just like you could tell his brain was just like just breaking.
Yeah.
So Trevor, not as
trash.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see.
If you're gonna go through with something like that, I feel like you have to go into it as genuinely as possible.
Right. Especially because, like, if he had actually, like, proposed to someone, which he was going to, the other guy just got there first, then, like, I don't know. He did say that, if he proposed, he would have, like, taken that person seriously and been with them, but it's just kind of hard to believe. So.
Right. It's easy to say that.
And then Clay also apologized to AD, which we love to see, because that was the girl who like got left at the altar, and she was like, I'm never good enough. And it sounds like she's open to dating him again, and he was saying that like she's the love of his life and he made the biggest mistake and whatnot. So maybe they'll get back together, and maybe he's been doing therapy to kind of deal with some of that generational trauma he had. So we love that. We love to see it, and maybe they'll end up together. I don't know. So that's it for Love is Blind, and probably signing off for Love is Blind until next season.
Oh, wow. I liked that segment. It was fun to live vicariously through your thoughts on it.
Girl, I got you next season.
It's amazing. So Vanderpump was...
It's popping off.
A train wreck.
We have like a novel written.
We have a lot to say. I thought it was so sweet that you went in chronological order.
You like that?
You added your notes to mine. I was like, wow, that I wouldn't have done that.
I was very careful. I like copied and would lower things and move them around if I needed.
That's impressive. It is not easy to format a note on the Notes app.
Yeah.
It's Agreed. Not. I just don't like it. But
starting out, I just want to say I love Anne, Tom's assistant.
Was she in this episode?
Yes, she was in the very beginning. Tom like had just
Oh.
gotten home from Tahoe, and she was actually getting ready to go to the Barbie movie,
Yeah, I do
which we
remember that now
love.
that you say that.
Yeah, I just love
She was
her.
like,
She's so sweet, and like it's got to be hard to stay sweet with dealing with Tom's shit all the time.
I assume she no longer works for him, right? Like, there's no way.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Ariana did say too, I think in like it was a Watch What Happens Live or maybe the Vanderpump Rules after show. I'm not sure which, but she said something about there's more coming with Anne that we'll see,
Oh,
which is interesting. So yeah, maybe there's like
okay.
some blow up and Anne quits. I don't know. Ariana did say she loves Anne. So that might
Interesting.
give
Okay.
some perspective.
She
Yeah.
comes back from the Barbie movie and she's like, fuck you, Tom.
Yes. Oh my god, I would love that.
Incredible.
Um so like Sheena, it seems genuine. I do think she's like actually like sad about her losing a friendship with Tom. But at the same time, like which like what woman has not been through something like this? You just have to pick a side
Yeah.
and stick with it. She's going about it all wrong. Now she's talking about Ariana behind her back instead of just going to Ariana and being like, "Hey, this is where I'm at. If it's too much for you, then maybe we have to take some time back from our friendship." You
Yeah.
know.
Well, and it's like, you have to understand that everybody has their own experience in these
Mhm.
types of situations. Absolutely acknowledge that what Sheena's been through has also been difficult, but it's just like she truly can't take a seat long enough for anybody else's, like, there's just no room for anybody else's feelings when Sheena's involved. Like,
It's becoming a big thing. Like she's really laying it on thick. Like I'm
yeah.
grieving. Mm,
I am sure that it's a hard situation, especially like she
right.
was very close to Raquel, it seemed like. So I would think losing both of them was probably very difficult. But I
Hmm.
don't buy that she's this broken up about it. I think she just needs something to focus on because she is a victim.
Mm. I do think that she might be that broken up about it. I just think it's a weird way to
Mm-hmm.
go about having those feelings. Like if I had those feelings, I would go to the source or I would go to my therapist. I would do
Yeah.
anything but talking about my friend behind her back to her best friends, but to anyone really, but to her best friends too. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? You're
I
doing it all
almost
wrong.
felt bad for her in that first scene with Lisa when they're talking about Dancing with the Stars. And it's like, oh, I could see Sheena wanting to get something like Dancing with the Stars. I
Yeah.
almost felt bad for her in that moment until she said the comment about Sheena
Yes.
or Ariana coming so far since being her backup dancer. Like,
And
babe,
she said it
you
with a
wrote good as
smirk.
gold. This that is the thing. That is the thing. Like, it is
Mm.
just the pure, and it's like
It was
nobody
meant
is
to be a
gonna.
dig.
It was meant to be mean. It
Yes.
was, and so it's hard to take her feelings seriously when she sprinkles stuff like that in there.
Right. She's doing it all wrong. She's
All
having
wrong.
these big emotions, which we
Mm-hmm.
all deal with and struggle with, and she's pretty much taking it out on her friend.
Yes. Who ultimately is the one that we all know suffered the most. Like,
Right.
we don't need to have this competition of like who's having the hardest time. You
Right.
know, we
Yeah.
really don't. Because
Hmm.
if we want to know who had the hardest time, we know it's Ariana. Like,
Right.
her whole life got turned upside down.
Hmm. And
It's not
betrayed, like
even
double betrayed.
double betrayal.
Yeah. Let's see.
The scene with Ariana and Lala talking
Hmm.
about the heat Sheena took from the photo that was going around of the group photo where Sheena and Sandoval are like, they look buddy buddy. But I really loved that Lala was like, you need to stand up for your friend. She has,
Yes.
regardless of the hot mess that she is right now with the like, woe is me, like I'm going through it, RIP to my friendship with Tom, like regardless of that, she obviously has been a good friend throughout like this betrayal. So
Hmm.
you can't forget about that and just be like, whatever, like feed her to the wolves. Like, you're not going to say anything. even for
Yeah.
your friend who has been there for you, you're not going to say anything.
I
Um,
loved that Lala brought that up. And then that Ariana, like, she took it home, processed it, and then went back and took her advice and
yeah,
said, "You're right." So I think that's very mature, because I
I do
bet in
too.
the moment Ariana's probably like, "Oh, this is kind of annoying." Anytime you get any kind of criticism, it's like your your natural reaction is to get defensive,
Yeah.
and she handled it well in the moment, and then she went home, thought about it, and made the right decision. And I
And
think
there is part of me that gets where Ariana's coming from with some of this ultimatum stuff that she's giving
yes.
people. I think it's funny that she swears she's not giving ultimatums, and it's like, babe, you're doing nothing but throwing out ultimatums, but whatever. I Part of me understands though, because her trust was violated so deeply. I get why she doesn't want to give anybody access to her.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
it's a little, she's gonna do nothing except for separate herself from the group, because ultimately they all work together. They're gonna have to have some interactions,
mm-hmm,
and I just don't think it's realistic to think like everyone's gonna just cut them off cold turkey.
mm-hmm.
They have history.
Yeah, I think what's going on is like I think that Ariana and Sheena's points are both valid
Mm-hmm.
about like, and maybe what that means for them in the moment is that they're both in different places. They're both
Yeah,
trying to do something to protect their own mental health, and maybe they just kind of have to take a break from each other. I think with time, Ariana is going to be less affected by all of this, and she's
yeah.
probably not going to care as much when people go out and hang out with Sandoval. But I think
Mm-hmm.
right now she is valid in wanting to set that boundary, and she can do that. I do think if she holds strong on that, eventually she is going to get iced out. I will say for like Ariana's very close friends, like Katie, if Katie goes and becomes best friends with
Right.
Sandoval, that would just be weird. Like in Katie's position, I would be doing the same exact thing. I
Yeah.
like that person just isn't a friend to me anymore. That's just so I guess it depends too how close like Sheena is to
Right.
Ariana. If she wants to be that close to Ariana, if your friend gets cheated on and that friend is not going to work on it with the person, then that person's out of your life. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. They're both valid, but I think that Ariana might find herself like getting iced out if she holds super strong to that.
So I think Ariana and Katie a lot of times get painted as being like bitchy, but I actually really respect the hell out of them because they're strong in their boundaries. And they're like, no, I'm not letting this worm with a mustache anywhere near me. No
It's funny
thanks.
every time. The worm with the
That's
mustache.
really funny. Oh, James Kennedy.
Oh, I just thought it was funny. Maybe the fact that she mentioned how like she was going to let Ocean pick the color of her cast, and then she's like, but I realized a lot of those colors weren't going to coordinate with her outfit, so I just picked pink.
Barf. Okay? Barf. And you could see it on Katie's face. She was like, she doesn't even have kids, and she's like, you're.
That's weird, right?
It
Like
is weird. It
my
is.
kid broke his or her arm. Like you can
The
pick
literal
whatever freaking cast color you
the
want.
literal least you can do is let them pick the cast color. They have to have it on their freaking arm.
And like we don't know the details because it was such a quick mention. So like I don't know, maybe Ocean did want the pink one too and they agreed on
Yeah.
it. I don't know. But it was just like a really funny thing to say.
Yes. It was odd.
And then I also thought it was weird. So this is all
I
at that
just read your
lunch.
next note.
So this is when it really like kind of turned for me. So like I was still kind of feeling bad for Sheena and like
Mm-hmm.
understanding where she's coming from. And then I think who was it who asked her if they think that Sandoval is more upset about losing her as a friend than Ariana as a girlfriend?
I think Ariana asked that.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
think, or Katie, maybe.
I
I
thought
don't
it was
remember who
Katie. I can't remember
specifically
which one of them
asked.
asked, but she said, "Yeah, I think he was really sad." Like,
Yeah, she said like this is the
what?
first time I believe his tears, and it's like that's a real strange stance to take.
It's so mean to Ariana to say that your ex-boyfriend is mourning his friendship with me over. It's just like, why say that? Like, keep some things in your noggin. Like, everyone has these weird intrusive thoughts, and
Yeah.
like, things that like probably aren't socially accepted or not. Keep it in there.
Do
Don't
you
let
know
that
what
out.
was the funniest thing about that dinner is that the fight was between Katie and Lala, but really it was between Ariana and Sheena. But
That's
it's
true.
like they're each of their people is like sticking up for them. It was wild.
I do think too. I think it was Katie who asked Sheena that. Now that I think, because I don't think Ariana was at that lunch or dinner, whatever they were at, because that was
But she
when I.
was no, who was at dinner with
Oh,
them, sitting next to Katie.
oh, I don't know her name. I forget her name, but
She's got
yeah,
dark hair. She
yeah,
just had a baby. She's super
yes.
cute. I think she worked with all of them at Pump too. I was picturing Ariana. You're right because of the
Hmm.
reading at Allie's because she's sitting
Hmm.
next to her there.
Yeah.
Well, the fight continues obviously
Yes.
at the reading, but that lunch or dinner or whatever was very intense.
And I
Um,
loved how Katie, like, you could tell her she was getting like more and more aggravated the whole
yes,
time. And then she just kind of like hit this boiling point and she's like, I'm not going to sit here and just like talk
she,
good about the guy who did this to my best friend. Like I'm not and
they
she
tried to move on. Like Sheena fully is like, I slept with that bartender,
Oh, that was so funny.
and everyone's like,
Now?
recently, like you're
Yeah.
married, what? And she's like, no, back in like '06. And Katie comes back to like, I can't sit here and talk about Tom Sandoval. Like I will jump off this roof. And
She
Lala's
said
like, we've moved on. We're
yeah.
all moved on to the bartender she fucked in '06.
Yes.
R.I.P. I dead. I was like, thank God for Lala's comedic relief in some of these intense moments. Like how did Katie not laugh her ass off at that? Even mad. I just
Right. I love how she used the word fathomless too. I just thought that was very well placed. Like you
yes.
sympathizing for this guy is fathomless. Like
It
I
is. It is.
period.
That's all that needs to be said. Um
And I thought it was funny too that he bought the ice cream
it's
for
weird.
Lisa. Like he every time everyone he's trying to like schmooze up to, it's like he's
The
buying something
sunglasses
for.
with James.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell he is really anything he can get, any inch he can take, he's gonna take it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. When Lala was talking about wanting to be a mother,
I know. It was
again, I mean,
really
she's already
sweet.
a mother, but like she just talked about how much she just like loves being a mom, and I just got like a little teary eyed. I just thought it probably
Yeah.
the recent motherhood probably had something to do with it, but
Yeah. It was
uh,
really sweet.
it's
And
just a cool.
honestly, I think she was searching for that thing for herself for so long, and
Yeah.
being a mom was kind of that thing for her. So I think
Yes.
it was really cool too. Yeah.
I love. So Joe, like a level of like and I'm not judging her for this because we've all been there, but a level of like desperateness to get
Mm-hmm.
close to
Yeah.
Schwartz. And that whole thing is weird. Like it seems like it like not Schwartz, like unaware of this woman's feelings who he's hanging out with.
But he's not
No
unaware.
way.
He's just
Playing unaware.
weaponized incompetency. Like it, he just knows
Yeah.
that everyone expects him to be aloof and an idiot, so he plays
Mm,
into it. But he knows she has feelings for him. Like he can tell she she wants to be with him. She's like, well,
hmm.
you said 2 or 3 years, and he's, you mean 47? Like what?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
And like
Okay,
that obvious like obviously you know what she wants when she's saying that. Schwartz.
yeah,
Like Schwartz would fit in so well on the Southern Charm cast.
yeah,
Like Schwartz and Austin,
yeah, yeah.
they're the same person.
Schwartz and Shep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just like get away with everything in my entire I can just keep
yeah,
bumbling around and fucking everything up because
yeah. Bumbling
no one holds
idiot.
me accountable. Anyways,
Mm-mm.
sorry.
I really loved that scene with Allie though. The whole sunglasses thing with Sandoval and Allie reading
Mm-hmm.
into Sandoval trying to buy James, and James like definitely leaning into it, and you could just see this look on her face where she was just like, I can see through you, Sandoval. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she's very intuitive. I love that for her.
I love her so much. Every episode I see of her, I'm loving her more and more, I will
Yeah.
say. Um, on that note, she's a Swiftie,
So cute.
and her
So cute.
like little clip of
I
her
know.
that was good. I would
Yeah.
listen to her.
She's like, I decided to be an astrologer instead because there can't be two Taylor
There
Swifts.
can only
Like,
be one Taylor.
so cute. I
I
love
love her.
her. She's a gem. Yeah.
When they had the like guys outing, which
Which I love. Like, they're just going to eat meat.
yes, and honestly, like good on them for not having some crazy scandal, because when I heard about this men's outing, I'm like, well, here we go. Who's
Right.
cheating on who this time? So good on them for keeping their shit together for one
For
freaking night.
once.
For one
Yes.
night. But I did think it was funny. Brock showed up without like a tie, and it seemed there was some kind of implied dress code.
Yes.
And he showed up without a tie. And I just know Sandoval was like boiling over.
Oh, yeah.
That.
He's like, I think I have a tie in my car. We're like,
he's like, I brought 3 extras because I knew one of y'all was gonna mess the dress code up.
Fuck it up. Yes. I always love when they do these like juxtapositions of like guys' night versus the girls' night. Like the guys are out like eating meats, like smoked meats, and the girls are doing astrology. Not Sheena being personally victimized by her birth chart. Like she is everything is victim mentality, and I just like, babe, those are the stars, okay? Calm down.
Do we need to call NASA to fix this?
Yes. She was like, who do I have to get on the phone at NASA? Okay.
I thought it was just, this is like not on her at all. It's just like such funny timing that she brought up like the air mat. Like she's like, you have to put on your oxygen mask before other people's. And the time that this came out with like all the Boeing stuff going on right now, I just thought was really funny because they like just found out that like a lot of those like oxygen masks don't even work. Anyways, I just thought it was funny.
We did.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. Like I remember
weird crossover.
Weird crossover.
Write this one or me? I know I was thinking it.
I don't think I wrote that. Katie's big dick energy.
I just love it. She was saying how like she's always been a man, so she's having like in previous lives, so she's having trouble like connecting with her feminine energy. Yeah,
it makes sense. It actually does make sense because she is quite masculine.
Yeah. And I love how she's just like, yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, my dick is bigger than yours. Like,
right.
Sorry.
I don't have to conform to
She's
your
so
like
funny.
view of what a female should be.
Exactly.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Katie.
And then let's see. Oh, not Sandoval heartbroken. Also, not the boys saying the only way to get over it is to get under someone else. Which they didn't exactly say that, but they kind of were like, well, you should start dating again. Does he need to? Should he maybe just take a little more time for himself? Take some time to ourselves before adding someone else. And that's the difference between men's advice during a breakup and women's advice during a breakup.
That is the exact difference. That right there.
I just thought that was funny to point out. Yeah. The stars of this episode were Allie, Anne, and Lala. Yeah. They're the MVPs, I think, for this one.
I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
Crescent City, what's going on with that? Where are we at?
Okay. I'm at the like 40 to 50 yard line, okay, percentage-wise of the book. Like, I don't even know. I feel like that's probably not right. I don't know how many yard lines there are.
I was going to say, can you tell me this in female talk, please? I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. I don't know why. I just tried to go into like a football reference.
I know Taylor Swift brought us into football a little bit, but I don't understand.
Not enough to understand that.
I don't understand the methodology behind it.
No, I'm 40 to 50%. That's where I'm at in the book, and it's getting good.
I can understand that.
The last time we talked, I told you about the evil Asteri, and in book 2, at the end, you find out that the Asteri have been like taking bits of people, like everyone's power, and that's how they survive, is they basically feed off other people's magic. And one of their top people on their team is this woman called the Hind, and you you read the first two books and you're like, fuck the Hind. She works for the Asteri. She's like their lead assassin slash spy. You know, she just like does all their dirty work. So everybody fucking hates the Hind. Well, in book two, you also meet one of the rebels who is called Agent Daybright. And you don't find out to the end that the Hind and Agent Daybright are the same person. But she's working for the rebellion undercover, but like everybody knows her as this awful bitch who works for the Asteri. And
I like that flip-flop.
Yes, we love a multifaceted queen.
It's twisty.
It is. She's complex. Meet Agent Daybright in book two, and she starts working with one of the main characters whose name is Rune. Rune is talks mind to mind with Agent Daybright, and they basically to help the rebellion, they exchange information like, hey, this thing's gonna happen, whatever. So they never see each other for real. They just meet mind to mind, but they fall in love. Okay, and then at the end, you're like, oh my god, Agent Daybright is the fucking Hind, and Rune is in love with the Hind, and that's just crazy. So at the end of the book, the characters are going through this rebellion, but like it's behind the scenes. It's not out that these characters are like full on in the rebellion. But in book three, that's when like shit goes down, and some of the main characters, including Rune, have been captured, and they're about to be tortured by none other than the Asteri and the Hind. The Hind is about to terrorize them, and Rune has just figured out that the Hind is Agent Daybright, and that he like is in love with this awful person. So he's being tortured in this awful chamber by the person that he's in love with, who's this awful gal. Okay, so we're caught up, right? The Hind sucks. Okay, she's evil, she's scary. Okay, so it finally gets to like 30% of the book, and she goes to Rune's friends and is like, I'm gonna break him out of the dungeons, but I need your help. And you're like, oh my god, there's no way. She cannot pull this off. Like, there's no way for her to pull this off.
This is Daybreak Agent, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is also the Hind. Right. So Agent Daybright is like, she goes to his friends and she's like, I'm Agent Daybright. And they're like, bullshit. And she's like, Rune knows, like, he's in the dungeons keeping my secret as I'm torturing him.
So she really is good then, right? Or is it from a perspective of like the audience really doesn't know? Like it kind of keeps going back and forth, and you're really not sure if she really is good or really is bad.
I think the interesting part is that there are parts of her that are bad. But overall she's good. And you slowly start to figure that out. And at the end of book two, you're like pretty much won over when you figure out that who she is. You're like, okay, well, she's done all this really awful stuff, but she's been undercover the whole time. Like she's in a place where nobody else has the insight that she does to these evil people. So no one can really take them down like her.
Right.
And it's almost, she's like a necessary evil. But I do think it's interesting because the characters really do struggle with like good and bad, and whether the Hind is good or bad. And so she tells the friends, like, I need your help to break them out. I'm going to get them out. And it's 3 people in the dungeon. So Rune and Hunt and Baxian. And Hunt and Baxian are angels, but their wings have been like sawed off. Oh. So Lydia regrows their wings. Like she gives her name. The Hind has so many names. Okay. Her real name is actually Lydia.
Okay.
She's called the Hind. And then Agent Daybright is her rebel name. So her name is actually Lydia. So you'll hear me say any of those at any given time. Apologies. So she plans this crazy escape, and she regrows their wings so that they can fly them to safety and everything. Like she's thought of everything. She's breaking them out, and they're like, oh my god, this is crazy. The Hind is fucking breaking us out of the Asteri's palace. And she starts blowing things up. Like they're like fleeing in this car, and behind them there's all these explosions, and they realize that she's blowing up their like trade routes, essentially. Like she's trying to screw the Asteri as like one last act of service to the rebellion. Like they're gonna know that I am not with them now because I've broken these guys out of the palace. She kills people on the way out. Like there's no way they don't know. And so they're chasing them down, and she starts this like chain reaction of explosions, and everybody's in the car, these three like huge men who have just been like really really tortured and are in rough shape. They're just like, oh my god, she is like fucking the man from the inside. Like this is crazy. We've always wanted to do this. They're just like watching it happen. And and then she basically is like, I'm going to sacrifice myself to save you guys. So they're driving and they get to like the edge of a cliff, and there is a like basically a submarine waiting to take them to safety. And so that's why she regrew Hunt and Baxian's wings so that they could fly off the cliff down to the water and go into the submarine. But they have people behind them, the Dreadwolves, the people who the Hind has just screwed over very publicly, are chasing her. And so she's like, okay, I have no choice but to like, you guys go get in the submarine and I'm going to distract them. So she shifts into a deer because she's a deer shifter, and they shift into like their wolf form, and they're just like chasing her. And she's like, she knows she's going to die. Like she knows that she has no choice but to die at the hands of these fucking wolves, or like jump off this cliff and die. And so she jumps off the cliff. And somehow one of the mermen from the submarine like braces her fall so she doesn't die. I was about to say,
I bet she doesn't die.
She doesn't die, but she like gets broken into like they have to rebuild her. And so it's very intense, and it's like Rune is feeling all these emotions because he's like, I hate her. She's this horrible person. I just found out who she is. She's been torturing me, but like I love her, and now she might die. And so it's like really just this very sensitive moment. And all of a sudden she wakes up and she realizes where she is, and she like rips out all of her like her monitors and all the like cords and stuff. And she just starts running. And Rune is like, what, where are we going? Like, what are you doing, girl?
And there she goes.
And you find out she has fucking kids, and her kids are on the submarine. And she awakened and didn't think that she could pull off the whole thing that she pulled off and have gotten her kids out, which you have no idea that she even has kids. Like, You're like, who's the dad? They're like 15 or something. And
so are the kids characters that have been around and we're just finding out that they're...
No, you find out in that moment. She like runs to this classroom.
So she like had them stowed away.
Yes. Okay. So she gave them up. You find out like after a moment passes, and she's like, those are my kids. They don't even know who she is, that she had to give them up because she worked for the Asteri, and they've been adopted, and the adoptive parents and the kids live on the submarine. They work for the Ocean Queen or whatever.
The Ocean Queen.
Yeah, because there's different like houses. Anyway, so it was just very, very intense. And I'm like, yeah, I need to talk to somebody about this. The Hind has fucking kids. Like, she has kids. Gosh. She's an evil, awful person. Like, who's the dad? Who is the dad? What is the story, Lydia? So we haven't found out yet.
Okay.
I can't wait. I'm sure I'm going to get there. Yeah. And I can't wait to share more. But
yeah, I can't wait to hear more. I feel kind of pulled into this at this point.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And honestly, the series has a lot of characters, and parts of the story are getting a little dull to me, and I'm like, I'm not super interested in that. But the Hind, I am all here for the Hind, because I think she's the most interesting to me so far because of her character development.
Right.
You don't know at what point she becomes a rebel, or if she was always a rebel and she set out to be their pet.
There's so much story to tell still.
There really is. There really is. And it will be interesting to see like how the kids play into this. I hope we get more information about that, because if it's just like whatever and never mentioned again, I will riot.
Freak out. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's where we're at.
So we got the Eras movie this week, and we done got clowned as well. It just kind of as a package deal.
Yes.
I
I
did
was really
really.
disappointed.
I know it's starting to sting more every time, and I'm just gonna say, Taylor, I don't know how many times we can go through this. Like, y'all
Yeah.
have got to stop dropping so many hints about Reputation and then not giving us anything. It was funny. My friend texted me. She said that like it's so funny how all we were clowning so hard that we were like, okay, we think it's gonna be Rep TV, but like worst comes to worst, we're gonna get Reputation Stadium Tour. Like we were just so sure that we were
Yes.
getting something else,
We
and
are
we
a
got none
greedy
of it.
little fan group.
We really are, but like it's her fault because she's
It's
playing into. I'm
absolutely her
look at
fault.
me saying it's her fault,
It
but no,
is.
they are playing into it, and I do think that to a certain level, that stuff is really fun. It's captivating. It keeps us here and guessing. But I will say, I thought they had like posted. I think right when the movie came out, they posted like um something Reputation coded, and I saw it the next day. So I thought they posted it the next day on Twitter, and I rolled my eyes because I'm like, at this point, like y'all need to chill out with the like.
Yeah.
I know you're not giving us rep,
Yeah.
like.
I
So
took my snake necklace off.
oh no. So I feel myself like getting kind of over them teasing it and not giving
Yes.
it to us.
Oh, I'm not getting to being over. I'm over it.
I
Okay?
was having fun with
Tay's
it.
team.
Yeah, I was having fun with it, but at this point, it's like y'all have cried wolf a few too many times.
Too
Like,
many times.
give it to
Yeah.
us or don't. And I'm also at the point, like, are they going to give us debut first at this point? Because Reputation is so built up. Are you really going to give us Reputation and then debut who no one's. I mean, it's not that we're not excited about debut. I am. I can't wait for those fall tracks too, because I think I Heart is going to be on it, which is a really good song, which isn't on anything recorded at the moment.
Okay.
But anyway, so I'm excited about it, but definitely the build up for Reputation is far greater. So I can't see them giving us Reputation and then debut,
No,
right?
it doesn't make sense for them to do Reputation before debut. Like, it should end with Reputation. It
Which,
makes the most sense for her to do that.
but Amber, it hurts my heart.
I know. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. But it does, if you think about it, it does make a lot of sense why she would do that one last.
Yeah, so now I'm worried we're not getting Reputation until 11/22, which is very specific.
If even then. Okay? I just don't I have trust issues now.
I will say that I was very weirded out. So originally they were going to release it at midnight on March 15th, the Eras Tour movie. And then they brought it back to 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is so weird that they were advertising it at Pacific time. But I think the reason they may have done it is because they're trying to mess with us. And Six is sixth album Reputation. So maybe that's why they said 6 p.m. Pacific time instead of 9 p.m. Eastern. But then it was weird because it started early. So I got in like 7 minutes early. So at like
Oh.
8:53 or something. How weird, right? That it started. So I was like, they had to have done that so that it would finish at a certain time, right?
Right.
But I saw a TikTok from Nikki, who is the girl who came up with like the 112-day theory and stuff. So Nikki thinks that the reason they started it at that time was because they were able to tweet out at 11:22 at night the Lover House burning down, and the Lover House Nikki thinks represents all her old work. So Nikki's thinking that she's saying on 11/22, November 22nd, which she's already been thinking is going to be the day that she like releases the last of the re-recordings. So that Lover House burns down 11/22 because that's the day that she's going to finally own all of her work. And she was already thinking, how weird would it be if they posted at 11/22 the Lover House burning down, and then they did. So, and she's been right before. So I don't know, kind of leaning on that idea now, but
So
also a
far
little
away.
sad. A little sad about it, yeah. Especially if she does debut first and then Reputation. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the mindset now that I don't see it any other way. So RIP to my hopes and dreams until November. So you heard about the Boeing guy while we're
slightly not. I feel like I don't have nearly the information that you have.
I
Because
gathered
I saw
all
that
this.
there were bullets.
John Barnett was a whistleblower for Boeing. He worked for Boeing for like 32 years, and he retired in 2017. Ever since he retired, he's been in lawsuits against Boeing, kind of calling them out for not building their planes right. One thing he was saying was like there's like metal shavings that could, if the wiring gets damaged, there could be catastrophic problems from that. He was saying that like the oxygen masks, like only like a quarter of them wouldn't work if they were actually deployed in most of the planes. So he was in the middle of a deposition. He had just talked to the Boeing lawyers, like he was out of town to talk to the Boeing lawyers about what he knew. And I think it's some part of like the trial process where he has to like say what he knows to them.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to go back. I think he had one more day of it, but he was found dead in the pod. So this guy had been for years like going to trial against Boeing. Now everything is like actually coming to fruition as far as like their planes are falling out of the sky and doors are flying out of them when they're mid-flight and such. And so it's like everything he's been working up to is coming to fruition, and then he just decides to kill himself.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
It
We
doesn't
know that.
Right. It doesn't
There's
sit
no
well.
way.
No. So that's just so weird. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the Boeing stuff. It's just crazy.
What world are we living in right now?
Oh,
no,
there
the
is.
list.
Yeah, our list.
Stupid things. Strong opinions.
Yes. And I am really glad that we put the stupid things tidbit in there because it keeps it light and funny. Because I will say I wanted to add things like women's rights.
Yeah.
And I realized that's not a stupid thing, though.
That's not a stupid thing.
You got to keep it in check for this one, Tori. So let's see. Stupid things that incite strong opinions. I put missing a turn.
I'm not sure where the strong opinion comes in for that. Like, that just is a stupid thing.
Maybe I should put, yeah, it was more of a stupid thing that incites strong feelings, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Because people get really upset when they miss a turn to the point that they will, like, literally almost cause an accident to not miss the turn. When it's like, you could literally just go up to the next light, or you could go up to the next exit and turn around.
Without killing anyone.
It's crazy that option is it seems like the worst choice.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
People don't even consider that as an option sometimes. I feel like
it like doesn't even cross their mind that they can do that. Like, I've got to slam on my brakes. Or my favorite is when people like come across like 4 lanes of traffic to get to their turn.
Right.
Like cut everybody off that's on the road.
That's exactly what I was thinking about when I wrote that one down. Yeah.
Taylor Swift being shown at NFL games. That is a stupid thing that elicits strong feelings.
People
specifically men.
The Chads and Brads.
Yeah, the Chads and Brads are pretty upset about that one. So
that one just cracks me up. Even like the NFL's like, hey, thanks.
Yes. When someone tells me it could be worse, specifically when it's my mom telling me.
No. And we know she's right, usually.
Right. You do. Which is why it's a stupid thing and it's not like the women's rights thing.
Right.
Because it's like, she's right, but it's like, I'm just mad, Mom, okay?
Let me be mad. Yeah. Sometimes I just need you to rile me up a little, like just get on my team, Mom.
You're like, stop trying to make me like, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Let me feel my feelings.
Yes, valid. I put on here LaCroix or seltzer waters really in general. Um,
I have a
I
strong
love
opinion.
them. I
Hate them.
love them, but yeah, it's people are
It's
either like love or hate with them, and
there's
I've
no middle
noticed.
ground. It tastes like soap. I guess you like soap. I never have understood it. Even the alcoholic ones, not even just like seltzer
Oh wow.
waters. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like those alcohol ones. No.
I like all of them, yeah.
Mm-mm.
And it's just funny because like I feel like it's more well accepted to pull out like a cheap bottle of like tequila or
Yeah.
something than
Then
to
a
pull out
LaCroix.
a LaCroix. All the time people come over to my house. I'm like, well, we have like because really we only have coffee, alcohol,
Yeah.
LaCroix, and milk. That's all we
Yeah.
have in our
Take
house,
your
and the
pick.
milk is for the coffee.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I offer people a drink. I'm like, here we have LaCroix, and they're like, do you have just like regular water? Like,
No.
no, this stuff is good. Have it. No, people don't like it.
Yeah. It's they I will say my boss gave me one time that was like
Yes.
limoncello,
Oh, I
I
love that
think.
one. Mm-hmm.
And
It's
I
got
was
like
like,
vanilla.
this is enjoyable. I do like it. And I drank it. But that's
Nice.
it. That's the only one.
The citrus ones are the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Backing into parking spots. That is
Yes.
hard.
Yeah.
I went on a date night last weekend with my husband. We went,
Congrats.
thanks. It was great. It was
Yeah,
great to
that's
be an
awesome.
adult. We went out to dinner and
Do
it took us 20 minutes to park. And my husband, he was like on the hunt to find a parking spot and he found one and then he backed into it. And I was like, that was attractive. Like, I'll give it to
nice.
you. I couldn't have done that. And they were the small, it's like places like that, the parking spots, I feel like, are just big enough for,
Mm-hmm.
a
Ford
Matchbox
Focus.
car, and that's it. And not that my car is even that big. It's not. But it's big enough that I can't back it into a small parking space in
I
the
do think
dark.
people are kind of all over the board with this one too. Like when I wrote this down, it was more of like I have a strong opinion about people around me backing into parking spaces.
It's always inconvenient.
It is. It's always like I'm behind you and all of a sudden you stop. And I'm just trying to park as well. We're both here for the same reason. You
Yeah.
stop and then I'm like, "Oh, I've already gone like a little bit too far to where you can't now I have to back up. Hopefully there's no one behind me."
Right.
It's
I
a
don't know because
huge
I just went like,
it's a huge inconvenience. Like just pull straight in and back out. And I've heard the argument of like, well, if you're in a truck, it's like easier to get out. But it's like I think that's stupid because no matter what, you're always at the front. They're saying because there's like more of the back of the truck that it's easier to pull straight out. You can see better.
yeah.
Really, I think that's bullshit though because the passenger seat in reference to where it's at like in the parking space, whether you're in a freaking truck, I said passenger driver seat, whether you're in a truck or a car or what the fuck ever, you're like your seat is pretty much in the same place in that parking space and you can see. I know you can see.
You can do
Plus
it.
we have freaking cameras that do it for us now too.
Right.
Like
Right. It's actually not that complicated anymore because nobody's really using their full eyesight
right.
to back out. You're using your camera. They
So
tell us
stop
not to, but we are.
inconveniencing me with it.
That's so funny the way you intended it and the way I took it.
I thought so.
Incredible. What else is on the list? I can't get my phone
Sand.
to unlock. Oh,
Now I have strong feelings about sand. And I live in Florida, so it's a tough place. Yeah.
it's in your car forever. There's no point in cleaning your cars. Spoiler. You're never going to get the sand out.
You may
I take great care to not drag sand into the house, and there's
it doesn't
still sand
matter.
in the house.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And like, why is it still in my ear? You know? Like, how did it even get there?
The belly button. Yeah.
It's
Belly buttons in general.
just not a good time. It's just
You know,
not.
that's a stupid thing that has a strong opinion for me as a belly button.
Why do we even have them? Like, what purpose does it serve?
Life, I think.
That's where life comes from. Belly button.
Kind of. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Oh, men have strong opinions when you accuse them of sleeping during the movie. Like, they always say they weren't asleep, but it's like you were snoring.
I think that's usually me. It's always me.
Okay, let me rewind. People have strong opinions when you accuse them of sleeping during the movie. They cannot,
Yeah, can't accept it.
specifically my husband, but
Oh, I was thinking our friend TP.
yes, we also have a friend who does this. Yeah,
He falls asleep every time we, and has for 15 years, fallen asleep every time we hang out and then swears, like, brother, you fell asleep in front of a door once. We all had to walk over you to go outside. Like,
I have pictures of him. Man, this takes me back. At the Pimps and Hoes party that I had at my apartment when I was like 19, I
that's
have
incredible.
a picture of him just, we had a tiny balcony. During the parties, there would be like 10 people just like crammed out there, just like shoulder
Yes.
to shoulder. And we have a picture of him sleeping on the ground, on the cement, on the balcony at the party. And like all these people are just like crowded around
Oh my
smoking their
gosh.
cigarettes and stuff, and he's just sleeping
Asleep.
on
Fully
the
asleep.
porch.
It's not even a bit. It's not a bit. Like
No, this is not a drill.
he's asleep. He's
Yeah.
in his REM cycle. He is not coming back.
It's just funny, my husband too, like every time I do, I'm like, I'm not even upset that he was asleep. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And like last night he did this and I'm just like, oh, I just looked over to see if he was sleeping. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure. I'm like, maybe I'll put something on that I want to watch if he's asleep, you know?
Yeah.
And I look over and he's like, I saw that. Yeah, no, I was watching. And I was like, and it was a TikTok that I had on my phone too. And I'm like, I don't care. You're allowed to miss it. And he's like, no, I was watching. And he like repeated the last sentence or something.
It's like it sends you into like automatic defense mode. Like why?
But
Why is
why?
sleep like
Yeah.
that triggering for
You
us?
can sleep. We're in our home.
Yeah, like go to bed. It's fine.
Right. You can sleep here. You can sleep in the bed. I don't. You can sleep anywhere you want. It's just funny.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's the end of our list, I think. There.
That's I am losing steam. I want to eat my arm off right now.
Yeah, we're good. Before we go, follow us on Instagram at out of touch the letter P cast, all one word, no underscores. Follow us on TikTok at out of touch moments. Follow or email us if you have any episode ideas or just any feedback you want to give us. Email us at outoftouchcast@gmail.com. And we'll see you next time.
Boom.
Bye.